Hey team, thank you for serving with us this Sunday. Movement, we're grateful that you guys are coming out. Mark and Matt and Rob. Want to introduce myself and just say thank you again for being willing to serve us and drive out to Brunswick on Sunday. So we pray blessings over you guys and travels, and want to make sure that I can help get you as equipped and prepared as much as possible. So that's why we're sending this video out. Myself and Jake are with our Iron Coast worship team. Jake's playing EG with us. And so I'm going to walk through our service just a little bit with you guys, but for the most part, this video is to show you our Ableton session. So right now we've got Matt's triggering tracks. I don't have a pad or a MIDI keyboard or anything. It literally would just be a laptop next to you, and you'll just trigger here. You'll see in a second. It's just the numbers 1 through 7 or 1 through 8, whatever it is on our hotkeys on our laptop. But pre-service, we have a team huddle after our rehearsal. And we actually will get to play some songs during that for our team. The goal is for our children's volunteers to be able to worship with us, so we actually continue our rehearsal portion into that team huddle so that they can worship alongside of us. Two things to note that I thought of was during team huddle, that song will be chosen by us of whatever song we feel like we want to continue to rehearse. So it'll be a song that's in our set list, so I'm not going to throw something random on you to play for our people. But that's a pre-service, just with our core volunteers in the room. We'll likely do What a Beautiful Name or something that's already in our set list. Second thing, just to make sure that you all are aware of the gear that we have P16s, Behringer P16s, which are wired in-ears, not wireless, but you have 16 different channels of options from what we're working with our tracks and our full band, and you can pan those and do all the things that you want to do with them. We are still working on, a good workflow with our production team for setting up our band. We've yet to have a full band on a Sunday. We just had a training this last weekend where we had our drum kit set up for the first time, and we replaced our heads, and we had a drummer from a different church come out and help us tune them, and we had a sound engineer EQ our instruments in the room. So I'm feeling really confident, at least way better than what we were a few weeks ago. But you guys are really coming in for you're the first round of instrumentalists coming in to play what we have, and you're helping our team out a lot. Specifically our production team, just getting their feet wet with all of it. So I'm hoping that this Ableton session and everything that I'm about to show you is helpful, not only for you guys, but for our team as well, just to be able to mix really a full band for the first time in our room. Service starts at 10 o'clock. We'll be on stage during the countdown. Ashley will come up to host, and we'll do a minute mingle. This audio will be queued through our ProPresenter. But then we start our first Ableton hot cue on our call to worship. So I'm going to scroll over here. Call to worship has a host loop. Number 1 is the cue. Hit 1, I hit spacebar, plays pads in the key of D. This template control will automatically loop this section, so you don't have to worry about it going to the next song until we're ready. But I'll be doing a call to worship, and I'll encourage people to sing with us. And then you can trigger number 2. It will automatically go into Glorious Day.
Intro 2, 3, 4.
This is a full band intro up until the first verse.
Verse
right
2,
here.
3, 4.
Boom. So it's quick, full band. In the tracks, I have taken out drums, bass, electric 1, and acoustic. Mark and I are doubling up on acoustic this Sunday. This song, I'll go to the ending, automatically fades into Build My Life. You don't have to touch any hot cues. Early count in with click track.
Intro 2, 3, 4.
We don't have a keys player this Sunday, but I've kept the piano in here. I've just turned the volume down. We're very
Verse 2,
kind of
3,
pad heavy
4.
for the most part. We don't really want tracks to replace a ton of instruments. And honestly, I'm super grateful that we have a bass guitarist and a drummer this week. It's really exciting for me. We've yet to have that in the service. So thank you guys. Build My Life, I'll go to the end.
Ending. 2, 3, 4.
Pad stays in here, but this pad will go down in volume for Ashley to come up and do communion. It stays in the key of G, and this again is a looping section, so we don't have to worry about it. It automatically goes into the communion loop. And front of house has control over the volume of our tracks as well, so I'm not worried about it being too loud or anything for the speaker. They know to turn it down for her. It'll still be in our ears though. Once she's done with communion, they'll have a time to take communion, just a little, like 15 seconds or so, and I'll give a nod whenever we're ready to go into What a Beautiful Name. That is triggered by number 5 to get us out of the loop.
1, 2. Verse. 2, 3, 4.
Okay. This is the normal Hillsong version. It's a verse, chorus, instrumental. You got bridge, repeats, a chorus, bridge, repeat, a chorus. So the goal is for it to just continue to build and build and build. Give that energy towards the end, especially with What a Powerful Name. It gives 2 different tags at the very end.
Tag.
What a powerful name it is, the
2,
name
3,
of
4.
Jesus. Swell, 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 swell. Yeah. And then there's a stop clip. The pads, it has like a reverb on it already, so when it stops, it gives us a nice fade. We don't have to worry about it cutting off too quickly with that reverb. Then we will exit stage. Ashley will come up and do a speaker introduction and pray over Justin. He'll give his message. At the end of Justin's message, right here in the teaching, he has an invitation moment. There's no transition in between here. Justin is just going to invite the band to come up on stage. When he does that, this invitation moment is designed at the end of his message for him to invite people into their next step before we go into our worship moment. So the only thing is during the invitation, we will do another pad to kind of back that moment before we go into our final song with Good Plans. So that pad will be triggered by number 6. If it's not playing, you press play, and it is looping. And then I'll give a nod when we're ready to go into Good Plans when he's done with the invitation. I'll probably invite people to stand and continue to worship with us, and we'll trigger number
1,
7.
2. Intro.
We're doing Good Plans
2,
in the key of G.
3, 4.
It's normally in D, but it just flows nicely with the rest of the service.
Verse. 2, 3, 4.
Easier for me to sing, to be honest. Okay. Into that song. You get the idea. We'll end that song, swell out,
2,
because the host will come back up for our next steps moments, and it will fade again into a softer pad loop for our next steps moment. Something that's new that I just added today. Justin wants us to try for the first time to do a reprise of Glorious Day for our dismissal. So they'll say something like, man, we're glad you joined us this week. We'll see you again next week. Have a good one. And then it'll be a really clear dismissal. Then we'll hit number 9. Literally, we're just playing Glorious
1,
Day again.
2. Intro. 2, 3, 4.
I'm going to tell front of house to have the volume down a little bit from what we did at the beginning of the service.
Verse.
But
2,
we're not
3,
going to sing
4.
in this reprise. It's just a band outro. So I'm not going to do any vocals on this song. We're just going to play it together one more time as people are exiting our worship space. So that's something culturally we want to start doing as a church, and this is just a first attempt at us doing it. It should be really easy because we've already played it once or several times since our rehearsal. I just added Glorious Day
2,
again.
3, 4.
Even though it's in the beginning of the tracks, I added it again at the end just to clear up any confusion. So we just have to trigger number 9 as a hot cue, and it'll play. And then I've added a stop clip at the end of the song. Once that stop clip triggers, it'll fade out, and then we're done. We're off stage. service is done. Our goal is to have service done by 11:30. Right now in our PCO, I know that the length is different, but you'll see if you click on the time, we are actually getting out at like 11, or I guess 11:05 with the Glory State reprise. So if you got any questions about any of that, let me know. But this is what our Ableton session will look like, and it's triggered through the keys numbered on our MacBook. And it will be right next to the drum set for Sunday. Thanks, guys.